Hello, everyone. Hope you're having a great Sunday. Welcome to yet another episode of Tech Beans. Today, with immense pleasure, I would like to introduce to you one of the most loved, reputed, and decorated PR and marketing professionals in the country. His name is Vikram Karvi. Vikram Karvi is Vice President Corporate Reputations Practice at Adfactors PR, which is India's leading PR firm by far. But Vikram is a man who dons many hats. Vikram runs India's most read PR blog, which is called Wikipedia.in, not WIKIPEDIA, but VIKYPEDIA.in. Vikram is a founder of IPRF, the India PR Forum, which is a congregation that brings together PR professionals from all over India to discuss, deliberate, exchange ideas, connect, and grow the fraternity. Vikram is a 40 under 40 emerging leader in PR, and that speaks volumes of how well he would have managed accounts which range from sectors such as IT services, technology, startups, consumer internet space, and so on and so forth. You might be interested to know that Vikram is also a certified life and leadership coach. Over my years of interaction with Vikram, we've had some very nice interactions and exchanges. So I'm sure today in the next half an hour or so, you will hear a lot of insightful, insightful information, knowledge, insights about how technology has blended into marketing, PR, communications, how brands are now talking to customers, aided by technology, social media, and so on. Vikram also runs a Facebook forum called Quest for Purpose, where he is helping the young audience, find their purpose in life, which I think is the most beautiful thing to do. So I think without further ado, I would like to introduce Vikram. Vikram, if you could just say a hi and a few words to our audience, and then we roll.
Yeah, sure. Thank you so much, Vibal, for the beautiful introduction. I never heard this kind of an introduction about myself before. I really feel proud and honored for that. And thank you for having me, guys. I'm looking forward for a equally beautiful interaction with you guys, and I'm happy to share whatever I've known or learned or experienced so far in my career. I'll be happy to share all that with you.
Thank you so much, Vikram. It's a pleasure to have you. Thank you for taking time out on a Sunday, and I'm sure the audience will find your insights and the time you spend with us really worthwhile. So Vikram, you've been in this in the PR, branding, storytelling, communication space for quite a while now. You've helped a lot of brands ensure that their message, their purpose, their ambition, their objective reaches to their target audience in the absolute pure and perfect fashion. So tell me, how has been your journey over a period as a PR and corporate communication and branding professional?
So unlike many PR practitioners either join into the PR domain by doing either a course in public relations or they are ex-journalists. I actually landed up by accident. I was a sales professional and I used to sell financial products like deposits, credit cards, housing loans, personal, every kind of a banking product I've sold. I've worked for Global Trust Bank. I've worked for Ains Grindlays Bank. I've worked for Standard Chartered Bank. Of course, not directly with the bank, but I was with the DSA of these banks and I used to sell these products of theirs. Then I moved to sell ad space for Statesman, and eventually in a shipping publication called Marex, I was working there for 1.5 years. Like I told you, I got into this profession accidentally. I was running a shipping magazine of my own. I used to publish this weekly shipping magazine, and it was going quite well, but suddenly recession struck somewhere around 2010. And at the same time, my dad was going through a prolonged illness, and that was the worst phase of my life. My dad was hospitalized, and I was looking for another alternate earning option. But as God has planned for you, suddenly out of nowhere, a good soul appears. He recognizes my situations and offers me a job as a PR manager at a hotel called The Resort, which is one of the most beautiful luxury hotel in Bombay. Sorry, Mumbai. Uh, and actually, he created that position for me, so I was so lucky. And from there, my PR journey actually started. After that, I worked with Le Royal Meridian in Chennai. Then I had a small stint with Indian Express also. I wrote for Express Hospitality and Express Travel World. And then I happened to join the most busiest part of PR, that is joining PR consultancy side. I started my consultancy career with Sampark PR. Later, I joined Adfactors PR. I worked with Adfactors PR for 3 years, and then moved to corporate side of PR with Tata Housing. I was with Tata Housing for 3 years, but when you get into a consultancy side of PR, you need to have the daily dose of adrenaline rush, which slows down at the corporate side. And just to get that out, again I joined Adfactors, and I've been here since 2013, and it's going brilliantly well for me. I will complete about 8 years at Adfactors PR. I started a new vertical at Adfactors PR, and I built this vertical over the period of time. I'm happy about getting into PR by accident, and then of course I've thrived after that.
Wow, Vikram, that's a beautiful journey, and you say you got into PR by accident, but I think from the way you've evolved and grown and how you handle things at Adfactors, I mean, if I may put in my 2 cents, I mean, it's a perfect match that you are in PR. That's the way I would look at it. So having said that, Vikram, since you've had such a diverse range of experience across sectors, on the client side, on the agency side, you've seen it from both sides of the table. In these 10-20 years that we've been actively working, there's a lot that technology has changed in every facet of life, right?
Yep.
So how do you think this the role of technology has come in, in terms of evolution of PR, media, communication, storytelling, branding, and so on? What is your take on how it was the so-called pre-digital social media era, and how it is now in the last, like, maybe 8 to 10 years, where social media has just completely leapfrogged and left a deep influence, not only social but the digital media, so to speak. So what's your take on these, if you could give a comparison of these two?
So when I started my career in public relations, life was not that 24/7, and we had good amount of time to learn and grow. Today it's completely different. I'm talking about an era where we used to give our press release delivered to each of the publication houses. We used to go to each of the publication houses. We used to meet these journalists, talk to them, and hand over the public press releases to them. We used to use fax machines to sometimes send out this press release. I don't know today's kids have even seen the fax machines. And you had 24 hours to react on any story, because the newspaper would come only next day, tomorrow. And 24 hours is a good time to work along with the journalists, negotiate, and have your opinion shared with them. And also there are so many things that could be done in that 24 hours. Today the time has completely changed. Digital had already started trouble to print, but today and in COVID times it is gone completely haywire. At the same time, trust in the media is deteriorating. Companies who have been trying to protect their reputation have come under increasingly stronger attack, and these attacks are not coming from journalists today. These attacks are coming from small time antagonists. Who are these small time antagonists? These could be your dissatisfied customer, probably who bought your 5 rupees product and he's not happy with it, probably a disgruntled employee, or probably virtually anyone with a smartphone. So that's the state today, and PR professionals have to work towards managing this. Societal issues have become more and more important. What happened to George Floyd, and the later part of it, how every media, every consumer started taking a stand against societal issue, and they started viewing the brands also on what kind of stand are they taking. Are they with them or without them? Was the straight dividing line. At the same time, politics, polarization, and multiple other things have completely changed. the world today. CEO activism is another thing that is, taking shape today. CEOs are coming out in open and taking stand. Marketing is asking for ROI of every money or every dollar spent. Uh, at the same time, digital adoption is becoming more and more faster. In the lockdown, everything has gone, uh, in the COVID infused time, everything is gone digital. Um, COVID also, I'm talking about COVID because it's already 2 years, almost 1.5 years that we are living in this time. And we, after this, we will be moving into another era completely. And in that era, media has shrunk. Uh, Today more PR people are following lesser number of journalists. All the events have gone virtual, including press conferences. We used to have these big press conferences attended by 50, 60, 70 journalists. Today, I don't think anybody would turn out to be coming out, turn out to press conferences that large number. Uh, some businesses have really got impacted. I don't know if they will ever recover. Marketing coffers has gone, somewhere empty, and whatever you do today, even in PR, you'll have to show the ROI. And of course, remote working may be a new normal. We don't know that yet. And lot of technologies will be in play even in communication. So collaborative tools, analytics, sentiment analysis, AI, machine learning, you name it, everything will be there in use. So much has changed from where we started to where we are today. It's completely different world.
Interesting, and that also leads to us having to keep us updated, day in and day out, because of the way the job is changing, right? The way you did marketing maybe 10-15 years back, and now, even the way the profiles have started shaping up, the requirements for team members, everything is now so different. So Vikram, I'll just flip this a little bit while you have touched upon that. While social media or digital is seeing its benefits in terms of amplifying PR in a positive way, on the other side, if there's a crisis, that also gets amplified. So could you maybe with some examples give us of how a positive PR campaign was amplified with the help of digital? And on the flip side, if there's an example of how a crisis was better managed, in today's times of digital and social, from your perspective on the PR side, and I'm sure you might have handled both sides at some part of, in the last 10 years.
Yeah, sure. But crisis today is a different ball game altogether. So in the changing times, in the changing dynamics, the entire the way you deal, like I told you, we used to have 24 hours to deal with crisis or anything earlier. Today we don't have that. Today everybody and anybody can create a crisis for you. Everybody is a potential crisis for you. With the help of a smartphone, they can just tweet and they can just bring your brand to a standstill. It is a highly sensitive, social media is a very, very highly sensitive media. It brings with its higher risk, but also at the same time a lot of benefits as well. And understanding of this medium will only help brands to mitigate any kind of a crisis that comes in. The world is very hyperactive today. You cannot be caught unaware, and worst is pretending that nothing is going wrong. So crisis communication has become just communication has become a 24/7 reality today. And to be able to do that effectively, you got to listen and keep your ears to the ground. And to help you listen, there are a lot of tools available in the market. So you don't have time to respond to crisis, any amount of time to respond to crisis today. You got to respond immediately. I'll tell you an example of an airline company. In fact, 2-3 airline companies. When an incident happened with the airline companies, typically what would happen is they would gather facts. They would, speak to their top bosses. They would get their lawyers in, prepare a, clearly worded statement, and then give it to the media or whoever is following up with them. Today, you cannot have so much time. Today, you got to be immediate. You got to be first empathizing with the fact that this has happened. and we acknowledge it, and we are really very sorry for what has happened. We are, looking into what could be done, and these kind of statements has to come up. You need to put up either a tweet, or you need to create a website page itself to tell people what is going on. And this was done by, I think, a Southwest Airlines. When an incident happened with them, they immediately put up a started notifying people on what is happening on the ground, or through using Twitter. They put up a landing page on the website itself, so when whoever visits the website get to know what exactly is going on, what actions people are taking, or the company professionals are taking to help the victims in the crash. And the information was seamlessly communicated. If that was not done, next day's publications, or forget publications today, the entire Twitter world would have gone berserk, and just tweeted anything that probably have caught their attention. You cannot come up with a properly worded statement with the help of your lawyer. You cannot even listen to your lawyers completely, because it is not a legal case you're fighting. It is the emotional world that you're dealing with. People with hypersensitive mentalities are talking to you, and you need to deal with them with a lot of empathy, and spontaneous is the answer. So the only way to deal with is to be prepared, to understand what kind of scenarios can go wrong with your brand, understand who could be your possible threats, where it could be coming in for. So crisis scenario planning is very, very important for brands, while at the same time there has to be a proper drills happening. Like you do fire drills, you need to do crisis drills as well. And you need to assume, if there is a particular scenario that takes place, how would we react? Is there a team in place to react? Is there, you know 5-6 people who make the crisis communication team, are understanding what crisis communication is all about? Are they briefed? Do they know what needs to be done when? And most often what happens, if a crisis hits a particular company or a brand, journalists just approach anybody. They will not go and approach your corporate communication person or a leader. They will just randomly go and approach anyone and everyone and ask things, and people may just blurt out whatever comes to their mind. You need to plug these things. You need to educate all your employees what needs to be discussed, what need not to be discussed, who will speak, what is the hierarchy of giving comments or statements. So all these things has to be put together in a crisis manual, and just that is just not enough. You need to educate people on a regular basis, to take them through the manual, to update that manual on a regular basis, and ensure that you are current. Most important, because it's not only social media today there is live applications, like audio applications which are there. Live video applications are coming into place. So the world is changing so rapidly that you need to adapt to these situations.
Absolutely. So Vikram, I think what we take from that is that since the world is as dynamic as it can be, and information is needed every second, so brands need to be as transparent as possible in today's times, and be connected and
They need to listen. Listening.
Yeah.
I'll double click on the word listening.
Listen. So you listen as a brand. What you're saying is listen to what your audience is saying, listen to what's happening in your business, and be transparent to your stakeholders. So that's like the mantra in this new age digital world in terms of PR and communications. That's very insightful, Vikram. That's what we pick. So now moving a little bit towards the other side of what you do, which is India's most read PR blog, wikipedia.in. India's maybe the best or the largest congregation of PR professionals with Indian PR Forum. How do you manage all these initiatives? I'm sure a PR is a job which is so, I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, but it's so ad hoc that any customer can have any problem at any time. So you are like on the antenna 24/7. Yes. And then you have to sort of compartmentalize, channelize your energies towards something like this, and then also make that the most loved and the most popular forums. So how do you manage these initiatives? Point one. And second is, what do you want to accomplish with these two forums in the near future?
No, I honestly, Vimal, I don't want to accomplish anything. I told you I landed in this profession by accident. and somebody created that job for me. That job was not existing in that organization, and because he felt for my situation at that point in time, he created that position for me. When
Right.
I was put onto the position, I was not knowing too much about how PR was. I didn't know how press release is also written. I don't know how coverage dossiers are made, and something I had to learn right from the scratch. And thank God for Google. If Google wouldn't have been there, I really don't know what I would have done. So what I used to do at that point in time, I used to gather a lot of I used to read, and I used to gather a lot of information online, and I used to collect that. And over the period of time, I had a good resource of information that I had collected from various sources. Internationally, PR was quite developed, so I got to read a lot of blogs internationally. I was on various LinkedIn forums. Google groups that time used to be more prominent, not LinkedIn. I was on all these forums, and I used to get to learn how internationally PR professionals are responding to things, and they are learning. Uh, so with so much information, I thought, there must be people like me who are learning the ropes of PR. And when I started, PR education was not that, into full force. Like today, there are so many universities and the institute offering degree courses and all that. Then it was not so much prevalent. So I knew there are a lot of ex-journalists like me who might be struggling, and there are a lot of like people like me who might be wanting to get into the industry but not know. So I started sharing this information over the period of time online through my blog, and I created a group called Google Groups then. So I started sharing, and a lot of like-minded people started coming and joining those groups and took that initiative forward. Today, I don't do anything honestly. Everything is done by the group members themselves. Indian PR Forum has become pretty large. It's about 4,000 people online, and divided across. Now today we use WhatsApp more. So the journey of Google Indian PR Forum was from Google Groups to we came to Facebook group, and then LinkedIn group, and then we are today on WhatsApp, Telegram, Signal, everywhere. But WhatsApp is most used platform, and there are different groups. Like you have a limitation on WhatsApp of 250 people, so there are multiple groups, and they are divided across cities. So there are admins in each group, and they are running the forum on their own. I hardly do anything. I don't, like you said, PR is the 24/7 antenna is on. I don't get time, but fortunately I was able to create something that people are liking it, they're using it, they're benefiting from it, and the journey continues. And there are so many people joined in. They're like my brothers and sisters who are with that motivation of just helping others, just giving back to uh, the fraternity that has given them so much really, you've loved that feeling and you like to continue. Similarly with my blog, I interview a lot of people, and people are very happy to contribute. So it's an ongoing journey. And the best thing is when you do this, you learn more. When you learn, it benefits you, and you plow that back in what you practice. So that's the only mantra that I practice.
That's so fabulous, Vikram. Firstly, what we pick is that you're looking at connected learning with a lot of platforms. That's great. I mean, that's something I believe a lot of youngsters and people who are watching us now can take as a key takeaway. And the second and the most interesting thing that I found in the last few lines that you said is, in IPRF, I do nothing. Now that's like the ultimate place a founder of anything can reach, right? I do nothing. Now there are teams so I've built a platform which has become, self-sustaining now. It's addressing a great need. So people are coming in, they're helping each other out. So that's like a fabulous place to reach. And obviously it's a recognized forum, and, it's a great thing that you're doing there. Now, and I'm sure the PR fraternity is, very, very happy that you sort of brought them all together. And even in such times of COVID where they could virtually interact and, help each other out, that's like a great thing, because you're not going to the office, you don't find a mentor across the desk and things like that. So to stay connected across a community is such a great thing in such times. And I think personally that's a great thing that you've built in terms of Indian PR Forum. Now, taking a little bit of a deviation from there, and I mean, I don't know, you can sort of put some light on that. So, with COVID being there, and suddenly we have all gone from only work in office mode to maybe work from home. Some people are remote. Some people are in their native places. Some go to office 2 days a week. So it's all almost like a customized set, right? So it's someone is working here, someone is working there. So it's all so fragmented now in terms of what we call as an office. Now, in such times also, there are many a times you need some advice, you need some help, you need some counseling, guidance. Maybe sometimes you get it, but maybe virtually it's not as seamless as you get it across the desk or across the table on a physical in the physical presence, that you can get the same. Now, interestingly, we also came to know that you've become a certified life coach and leadership coach. Now, how important, and you've got a channel called The Quest for Purpose. Now, in these times, I believe it's really important to, firstly know what your purpose is and not lose sight of it. And secondly, take life a little easy, because it can get very challenging and so on. And you don't even know whom to speak to because you're at home most of the time, So in such times, firstly, is this the reason why you got into life and leadership coaching and got yourself certified? Or, what is your broader perspective with both these initiatives, and, what do you want to achieve? And what can our viewers today take away from these initiatives? If they can connect with you and things like that, we'd be happy to help them.
Sure. I'll share something that I've not shared yet with somebody. I'll tell you why I started Quest of Purpose, and you might find it quite funny. I started Quest of Purpose because I myself was looking for my purpose in life. Typically, when you cross 40 and you have achieved a reasonable amount of things for your own self, you have a kind of a good life, you're financially stable, and you've achieved a stage in a career also where you're there, you have you slogged and you've been there. And that's the time when these things come to your mind, after 40, where you start questioning, why do I exist? What is the exact meaning for my life? Is profit making for the company that I work for is the only thing that I do? Do I make any difference to anybody outside of my company? So these things you start thinking, which is larger for me. Of course, when you're struggling with life, when you're struggling to meet your ends meet, these things will not come to your mind. But when you've done that, you have these things troubling you very often. And same thing I was going through. I was questioning, I was reading a lot of stuff to understand what I could be better in as a version of myself now. I read a lot of books, and I came to a kind of a mindset where I thought I need to get into the journey even more deeper. And I'm sure, like Indian PR Forum, when I started, people wanting to know what PR is all about, I thought, I'm sure there would be many more people who would want to know about the purpose just like me. And I read some research that it typically happens after 40, and I was going through that. So I started this forum to collect all the information, just like Indian PR Forum, on purpose. So I will curate everything that is there on purpose so that people will find their purpose in life, at least reading through how others have found the purpose in life. I will interview a lot of people who are doing something meaningful in their lives, and maybe that could help people. So I've interviewed NGO heads, I've interviewed people who are doing something. I interviewed a brilliant example is that you don't even need money to do something meaningful in life. I interviewed a auto rickshaw guy. Actually, he's not even an auto rickshaw driver. He is a school teacher. But in COVID, since schools were shut, he decided to buy an auto rickshaw, and he converted that auto rickshaw into a makeshift oxygen ambulance, and he's ferrying people from Mulund to wherever the hospitals are there, because he's saying there is no ambulances which are available. Even if they are available, they are charging for a short distance of 15,000-20,000. That person can think of such a beautiful purpose in life. I think if we convert our own thinking, then so much can be done for the society. So I interviewed him and I learned so much. So I said, this is a brilliant thing to do, and I will do this more. And which is why the Quest of Purpose platform it's questofpurpose.com. it is at the initial stage. A lot will be built in that. And that is where I started thinking, I can do this even more, probably by being a life coach. So what does a life coach does is he helps you get unstuck. So if you've been procrastinating, if you've been if you're having an idea which you don't know how to take it forward, if you want a change in your career or something like that, or you want to do something different in your life, you need a sounding board. Forget solutions. Life coach does not give you a solution. Life coach will get the solution out of you by asking some relevant questions. I loved that about life coaching. And what I heard about life coaching is that you can give only what you have. So even before being called as a life coach, there was a transformation journey that I had to go through. I had to change myself in many ways. I have to be more mindful. My anger has to come down. I have to be reading a lot of stuff. So I got that opportunity to give a shift to my life. And I'm happy today. When I work with somebody, the most important thing I'll tell you, Vimal, what happens is people don't want solutions. People want someone to listen to them. And when
Absolutely.
you actually talk to someone, you find a solution on your own. And when you work with somebody like that and he gets a solution and he says, I never thought of this before, because of the discussion, I've got a life-changing experience and I'm going to do something different today. The kind of happiness you get is unbelievable. And that's the reason I got into this, and I'm happy doing this. Of course, life is busy, but life is busy for everybody. Even Modi might be busy 24/7. But they do it. So I have weekends. I get up early at 5:30, and I have a lot more time than other people. So you can manage time.
Awesome, Vikram. That's so fabulous. I mean, in the last half an hour, we picked up so many things about you. I mean, one thing that just struck me is that you're saying for the life coach transformation, you had to be more calm and stuff. I have never seen you angry, so I'm wondering how calmer can you be now. But having said that, that's like exploring the depth of your soul and coming up with so many hidden treasures that we ourselves don't know exist within ourselves. So that's really great. So as a quick sort of takeaway summary, what I would think is that on the brand side, when we spoke about, or on the evolution of PR, marketing, communication, storytelling, what you clearly put across is that today it's a day of information, tick by tick or by the second. So as a brand or even as a person, be as transparent as possible to your stakeholders. That's when they trust you and value you as a brand, and that's how you grow. That's fabulous. On the second side, what you came across is now the like you said, you've got into PR by accident, but then you believed that you should give back to the PR fraternity much more than what it has given you. That's where you created a forum and brought in people together. And so today, the youngest of people coming into PR have a head start because of something that you've created, and that's fabulous. And since you said you do nothing and still it works, so that talks truly about the power of that idea, because you bought it together and now it's become self-sustaining in its true sense. And with the part on talking about the person who converted his auto rickshaw into an ambulance, and these are brilliant examples of, like you said, do we live for only the profit and doing stuff for our organizations, or is there a bigger purpose? And it's so beautiful that you're trying to get people to explore their purpose in life with what you're doing as a transformation leadership and life transformation coach, and also with your quest for purpose, you are probably nudging them in the direction of how to get there. So Vikram, that's very, very insightful. That may be probably a complete package, or the best half an hour we could have expected on a Sunday morning, touching across very, very diverse things as a professional. So I think thank you so much for spending this time with us. Thank you so much for all these insights. I'm sure the audience will find it valuable. And I would rather have you give a parting note to our audience. If there is anything you want to say, leave as a parting thought. And if they could be connected, just before you do that, to the audience here, Vikram is one of the fabulous people, not only in PR, but as a human being, as a person who is a constant curious learner. So there's a lot he learns, and there is a lot he is always willing to give as knowledge or insights or information. So Vikram, if I may, can I tell them to be connected with you as well?
Always. I am very active on LinkedIn. You can connect
Okay,
with me.
so Vikram is active on LinkedIn. Vikram is active on various forums. Be connected. Especially if you are in this profession of storytelling, marketing, advertising, public relations, and so on. There's a lot to learn. Like the ocean you see in the background, he is also an ocean in terms of knowledge. So there's a lot to learn. You can stay connected. So Vikram, off to you. Any parting note, thoughts for the audience, and then we wrap up.
Last I am not that big a Gyani, but I'll share something that I learned. You spoke about curiosity. There is something called detached curiosity. Detached curiosity is something you don't get involved, but you keep yourself, at a distance and watch the world. If you are able to do that in every aspect of your life, of your career, and showcase that detached curiosity in everything and learning more, but not to get too engaged with that, but at the same time go on understanding that aspect more. The ocean is as deep as you can get, life, career, whatever. So know this word detached curiosity today. It's a very, very deep word, and maybe you can read more about it, but that is something that I would like to leave you behind.
Thank you so much, Vikram, for sparing this time, and I'm sure we will have you sometime again, because every time I sort of talk to you, there is always something new to learn. So I think a lot of people can benefit from that. So we'll keep in touch, and we'll continue maybe having you sometime later as well. But thank you so much for sparing this time today on a Sunday. It's very beneficial for our audience and for us personally at Clover Infotech and the channel called Tech Beans. So guys, do follow us. We will have a lot more people like Vikram coming in, and there is pearls of wisdom lying in this channel. So do follow us. Thanks once again, Vikram. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Bye everyone. Thank you. Thank you.